Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today we are at 205 Sterling Drive North at the home of Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson to unveil a little library. But before we bring up our host for today, who's going to welcome us, I want to welcome home Mr. Summers, who has been in rehab and is back. Please give him a big hand because he is back. His wife has been holding down the fort. She's had to watch her child, Jamie, her other child who doesn't live here, and her grandchildren all at once. And now you have your husband back. It is a big load for you. We'll make sure Jamie helps you out a little bit more than she's doing. This place is special, firstly, because Jamie grew up here and her family has been here nearing 50 years that they have been in this home. I had to christen the basketball court that they have in the back. You'll see it's a gem. Her kids grew up here with my niece and nephew. It is a special place. And today, we are acknowledging the success of our children and our families by unveiling a little library. And I want to bring, I used to call him Little Isaac, but he's getting so tall. But I want to bring Isaac up as our welcoming today. Please give a big hand for our initial host, Isaac Johnson.
My name is Isaac Johnson, and I'm happy to welcome you to the Buddy Mitchell Free Library.
Let's give him a hand. How about the welcome? Evian, come on over. When we talk about reading, we have to talk about authors. We have to talk about illustrators. I would like Avion, his book, to come up to say a word as well. His family has been behind him. He has been inspiring us adults and our children about reading, about learning, and about taking on the authorship craft himself. So Evion's going to say a few words as well.
Hello, my name is Avian Abney, and I'm the author, along with my dad, of the book Random Thoughts, How Reading Helped Me Make Sense of My Thinking. And I just want to thank you all for coming here today to support this program.
Thank you very much. Of course, our author will be over to my left signing his book. Please get your book signed. I do have a place for this book that he's signed for me before on my bookshelf, so please get your book signed as well. I want to acknowledge our councilwoman, Adrienne Wooten, who is here. Please give her a big hand. The guest of the hour, the person who helped to inspire this, Adrienne Wooten, our council person, came to me and said we need to really push the little library idea. Not just my idea was at the train stations, but to push beyond that and make sure we get it in the communities where they belong. And she spoke with Jamie. Jamie signed on board, got hers up and running, and you'll see a number of openings of libraries throughout the town. Without further ado, I do want to bring up our councilwoman from the good South Ward, Jamie Summers Johnson.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. I just want to give you some of the background to why we did the Little Libraries. Little Libraries is a national nonprofit organization, and you will see these throughout our surrounding cities. So we thought, why not Orange? So the part that I came in was to contact the law department to find out how we can legally get them in. Do we have to do resolution or ordinance? And we found out if it was on your private property and it was where kids could get it with safely, that we could do it. So with schools being closed right now, we don't know what September will bring. We wanted to make sure that our children were able to receive gently used books. So we already have one on Sterling Drive. Now this is the second one, and we're hoping to put them in each park and in front of each school. I have so many donations, I have to stop the donations until I can give out all of these books. And we're looking for all types of books, multicultural books, books that talk about tolerance, bullying, anything that's gonna make our children stronger. And I wanted to put one in front of my house because if you want to be the change, you literally have to be the change. And I wanted to have Avian here. He's in my son's class. And I just think that's just an example of what Orange is about. if we don't start reaching back and grabbing our own children, we always go outside of Orange to get people. We have amazing people right here in this town. My little library was built by Orange High School's football coach, Randy Daniels, who most people may know him just as a football coach, but he is he is a woodshop teacher, and he built it for me, for my dad, but I made it in memory of my grandfather, William Buddy Mitchell, who my youngest son is named after because he was the storyteller of the family. I have his flag, and this is in our house. So my sons weren't able to meet him, but again, we want to continue so they know who he is. That's why I named my son Mitchell. And this is his picture from 1946. And you can get a little library built, but we ask that you buy the $39.99 charter so that you are on the national official Little Libraries map.
Get the plate, right?
I'm sorry?
Get the plate.
Yes.
Point out the plate.
And right here, it says, sponsored by South Ward Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson in memory of Grandpa Buddy Mitchell. And it's really funny, when my youngest son would play, people would always call him Buddy, and I never told him that that's my grandfather's nickname. So it's just so appropriate that that would be his name. And then here is the Little Free Library Organization. It's a nonprofit, and when they mail it to you, you become a charter member. We only want residents to put them up and become a charter member, because that means you've gone through the proper channels. That means that you've gone through me as the councilwoman, because I'm the one that's keeping the map. And you can contact me. My email address will be at the bottom so that you can get one in your yard. When we got it, it was black and white. My mother painted every part of it and brought her own touch to it. And I wanted it to be, something beautiful, something the kids would walk by and just feel free to go in. You can make it as special as you want. We had one last week, and it was for domestic violence, which is a serious thing, and kids might not understand it. So mine is for my grandfather. Alexandria's was for her sister. But if they all go up for a reason, I think it will help the kids understand that we're all going through stuff. But you can pick a book. You can leave a book, you can take a book, you can take two books. We don't care. Imagine kids taking too many books, right? So I just want to welcome you to the William Buddy Mitchell Little Library.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. Welcome the Grandpa Buddy Mitchell Little Library, City of Orange Township, right here in the South Ward on North Sterling, in the front of 205, the home of Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson. We are right here on Sterling Drive in the South Ward, and we just opened a little library, the Grandpa Buddy Mitchell Little Library, right here in back of me. But I have some special people here who say they like reading. I want our community to see who our readers are and to make sure that they too become readers and visitors of the little public library. Excuse me, sir, what's your name?
Oliver.
How old are you, Oliver?
4.5.
Do you like reading?
Yes.
Excellent. What's your name, sir?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, how old are you?
3 years old.
You're 3 years old.
No. May 10th.
You 4 years old?
No, mommy said nah.
She says 4. What do you say?
4.
4. Okay. Jeremiah is
Actually 3.
Jeremiah is between 3 and 4. He acts 34. So, yes, sir. What's your name?
Christian.
Christian, how old are you?
7.
Christian, what do you think about reading?
Good.
Excellent. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Avian.
Avian, you're a special guest here today. Why is that?
Because I'm the author of the book Random Thoughts: How Reading Helped Me Make Sense of My Thinking.
Now, at the studio, they told me to make sure I ask all the children whether or not they like to read. Do you like to read?
Yes.
That's quite obvious, right?
Yes.
What do you think about little libraries?
I think that it will be good for the community to be able to have little libraries around the community so that they could read whenever they want to.
Is your book going to be on display at the little library?
Yes.
Excellent. If they read, they write. If they write, they articulate. If they articulate, they become successful. This is just obvious here. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, you like reading?
Yes,
How old are you, Gabriel?
I'm 12.
You're 12. What grade are you in?
I'm heading to the 7th grade.
7th grade. And you like the little libraries?
Yes.
Excellent. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Jared,
Jared, how old are you?
12, about to be 13.
Wow. Jared used to be 4 when I knew him. Now he's... Jared, what do you think about reading?
I like reading.
Excellent. You're next door neighbor to the little library.
Yes.
Excellent. Jared gets first dibs. Isaac, I know that you and I have spent some time all over this town. Most recently, we spent some time on your basketball court. But I'm told now you have a special other place to go besides basketball. Where's that?
The little libraries.
The little libraries. Great. And where's your brother?
Inside sleep.
He's sleeping. Okay. But the libraries are important. Why is that?
Because if you read, you can do things in life.
If you read, you can do things in life. That is really the theme of installing our little libraries around the town. While it is great for our young people, the little library is available to people of all ages, any stripes. You can take a book, you can put a book in, but the key thing is to read. Go home, read to yourself, read to your children. But whatever you do in the city of Orange Township, please read. City of Orange Township, Sterling Avenue, with the families of readers here at the opening of the little library, the Grandpa Buddy Mitchell Little Library. A favorite pastime of some of our seniors is reading. And in this community, there are a number of seniors who are in walking distance of the little library. Young lady, what's your name, and tell me why this is significant?
My name is Elizabeth Summers, and this is important to me because it's from my father, who could not read for a long time until he got into junior high school, actually. And then when he found out he could, he read everything.
Wow.
So reading is important to all of us.
This is a legacy, the little library here, coming from an educator who gave birth to 2 educators, and from a person who couldn't read until he could read, and now he's an avid reader. And it is in his name that we dedicate this little library here on Sterling Avenue, right at number 205, the household of Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson. I'm on the scene with the brainchild of the person who first brought the idea that we ought to expand our little library system beyond just the commercial corridors to the neighborhoods where people live. Councilwoman Adrienne Wooten, your councilperson at large, what was your vision about bringing these little libraries into the neighborhoods, in people's houses, into the communities where they live?
So initially, you and I spoke about them being in the train stations so people could have them in train stations. Then recently, Councilwoman Summers Johnson had a meeting with some folks, and they were really, really interested. So it became a self-moving movement with books and reading in the city of Orange Township. So I'm just so glad that she had that meeting with those residents. They showed an interest, and now we have 2 in the city of Orange Township in the South Ward. We are hoping to bring them to the parks. You're doing yours at the train station and some on Main Street. So we just want to become a town of readers.
Excellent. Just a quick word. Your father was a prisoner of war in the Korean War. And one of the things that he indicated that brought him through was just thinking about books and seeing whatever he can read. Tell us just a little bit about that.
So you're right, he was a prisoner of war for about 2.5 years in the Korean War. He did say that he would read anything that he got his hands on in the camps, and that's what was able to bring him through. He also wrote, so we have a copy of his memoirs where he wrote when he was in Korea during that time. So it's good to see that I am a person of readers. I'm an English major. I graduated from Kane University through North Carolina A&T. I had to get that in, Aggie Pride, just to see that the city of Orange, that we are readers, and we want everybody to know that.
There it is. It's within all of us. If you can't read, learn to read. We're going to make the opportunities available to everyone by making sure these little libraries are throughout town. Just trying to build stronger communities in any way that we can. Certainly reading is one of those. Councilman Wooten, thank you for all that you do in this community, and thank you for the little library ideas.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Here on Sterling, and I'm with 3 adults here with regard to the little library. Young lady, what's your name?
Suzanne Lee.
Suzanne Lee, you have a boy.
I do. He's over there. Yes.
How old is your boy?
4.5.
Now, you're wishing he was about 20, but you don't really know.
No, I don't wish he was 20. Oh, no. 4.5 is fine. No 20 yet. No.
Why are you out here today? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You've been waiting here to make sure we had this opening. You had your 4-year-old up early to get here. Why is that so important?
Well, he's an avid reader, and we know that reading is important. I'm a school psychologist, and I know education is very important. So what better way to start our day than to have literature available to the hands of our young people? So I wanted to be here to see that.
Wow, starting our day as a reader. Yes, sir. You were out here today. I know it looks like you worked out already, but you saw fit to make sure that you're on this spot with this little library. What's that about?
Absolutely. Well, I've always been a supporter of our local township. I think that every citizen that's a part of this town should participate as well. So any opportunity that I have to give back, then that's what I'm here for.
Now, in your hand, you have a book. That is no small feat. That wasn't given to you. You made the sacrifice of digging into your pocket and purchasing that book. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel great, especially when it's local. I'm really big on supporting local. I encourage everybody that lives within this town and surrounding towns to always support local businesses, because that's what allows the community to thrive. And so the minute that I saw the opportunity to support, I came right out.
You've seen a number of articles, news accounts about the negativity that young black men are engaged in. Tell me about the dichotomy here when you're buying a book from an author at 10 years old.
Well, the main thing is each one teach one. I think the most prevalent thing that you could do nowadays is try to be an example for the children. I was their age at one time. I was a knucklehead as well, but with age comes wisdom. At some point in life, you get it, but the more people that you have surrounded around you that are positive and can encourage you and give you the motivation to be an upright walking citizen, the better off you'll be, and hopefully that bleeds off into the next person to your left and right, so that way we can have a thriving community together and, try to dissipate all negativity and just move forward with positivity.
Signs of positivity all around our community. Certainly we're dealing with the little libraries and our residents who are making sure that they stay tied to the community. I have a person here who deals with children each and every day, has been an administrator or principal in more than one school in the city of Orange Township. You watch a generation grow already. You have a tremendous boy who is articulate, who is demanding of your time and your brain. Tell me about that encounter.
Mine is 4, and he's going on 40, and but he loves, even if he's not reading just yet, but he's making up stories, so his mind is going, and I read to him, which is so important. And I think parents and families need to know it's so important. I'm a school principal, so of course I'm pushing this, but also a parent, just reading to them, period. It doesn't matter if they can read it or not, but reading to your kids is really important. It makes a big difference with their language, their thinking, and when they hit go up and up, higher in grades. So
this is some things that you've thought about or that you dreamed about. Is this more empirical for you?
Yeah, it is, because I grew up right here. Right. So me and Councilwoman Summers grew up together. My mother's still here. I'm back on this block living here. So this is amazing to see. This is a really, really nice moment. I'm so glad.
Now, there is a person who lives a couple doors down from you who, 2 people who live a couple doors down from you who are very fond to me. How is it being on the block with them, and are they behaving?
Your parents are being good. I let them know they have a curfew, even I give them a little extra time on the weekend. Excellent. Okay, because they earn that. Okay, yes, but they've been great. Yes, they are.
We're going to invite my mom and dad down to the little library. They're just down the street. Dr. Casey Cummings, thank you for all that you do in our community. We're right here on Sterling in front of the Grandpa Buddy Mitchell Little Library, just celebrating reading. That's all that we do. Here at the Little Library, I have one of our residents who has been a long-time resident. She found it important to leave the tennis court, to leave her legal brief where she practices law, and to come here to the Little Library. Young lady, what is that all about?
Oh, wow. It's always wonderful to be in the company of people who understand the importance of education and reading, and I enjoy reading. I'm sure that this library will be a benefit to the residents if we take advantage of it. So come and read, share, put your ideas in the box, and to bring back a book, take a book. Knowledge is power, and so I'm all for that.
Thank you.
And it's great to see you, Mayor.
My pleasure. Knowledge is power. You heard it. That seems to be the theme throughout our community. But everyone's involved. I have our newest resident to this community, actually. You've been here less than 6 months.
About a month now.
Oh, less than a little bit over 6 weeks. He's been here. Tell us what your name is, where you're coming from, and why do you think little libraries are so important?
Well, my name is Dwayne Baker.
Good name, Dwayne Baker.
Oh man, it is a great name. I'm coming from previously from New York, and new to this community. But in terms of little libraries, I know that. Usually I've seen this in places like California when I visit, or other communities that are
a little more quirky places.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
quirky.
I was really happy to see it here, because I know that the ability to kind of see a book and grab a book at any given moment is really important, because people don't read as much as we should. We're always on our phones, and information kind of comes to you quickly, so you don't get a chance to actually take information in, because you're always presented with new information so quickly. So I think information just doesn't soak in as much as it would if you sat down with a book and took the time to kind of read it. So I'm kind of happy to see this here. I hope I can kind of grab a couple of books and add some to it.
Well, you're right down the street, so that's a very good thing.
Yeah,
it's important to note that information seeking in, spending time with a book, not just the quick bites you get from electronic media. You have a specific skill set that you had to read to get through. Tell us about some of your professional background.
So I have an architectural background, and that I don't really practice architecture as much as anymore. I kind of do personal design work for certain clients, but my day-to-day is I own and operate an eyewear business, an eyewear design company. So, with my two partners, we design optical frames, sunglasses, and, work with different opticians, and we're sold in a couple of different stores. So the name is Coco and Breezy Eyewear.
Where can they find you?
It's on Instagram. It's at Coco and Breezy, or cocoandbreezy.com.
How do you spell that, Coco and
That's
Breezy?
COCOANDBREEZY.com. So.
Eyewear. If you can't read because you're having trouble with your eyes, this is the man to see. He can help you out, make you look fabulous while you're reading. Thank you for choosing this community. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to come here. There has been a steady traffic of New Yorkers coming to this area. Is it the bargains? Is it the great housing stock? Is it the diversity in the city? Is it the great mayor? Which one do you think it is?
I want to say a little bit of everything that you just said. So it's a little bit of all of that. So happy to be a part of it, and look forward to building with you guys.
There you have it. Our newest neighbors getting involved, pitching in, being a part of the Little Library activities. We hope to see you here, bringing books, taking books, and reading. Wherever you are, a Little Library is appropriate. We can help you install it, help you get the ideas. Give us a call. You have the hotline number there. You can also call my number at 862-373-0025. Get involved in Little Libraries. Come on out. read, encourage your children to read. It has been said that a family that reads together will stay together. Well, this family reads together, they write together, they edit together, and it's all around our newest author, Avion, here in the city of Orange Township. Young lady, what is your name? What are you doing here? And how do we produce more Avions?
I don't know about the production part. However, my name is Amber Montgomery. I am a member of the South Ward here in Orange. I'm also PTO Vice President at Haywood Avenue School, where my son does attend. We are here to support the little libraries. Here, Grandpa Buddy Mitchell Little Library just opened and unveiled this morning, and we're here to support, as well as Avian is here with his book called Random Thoughts. How reading helped me make sense of my thinking, and we're happy to be here.
Great. Reading was something that was obviously encouraged in the household. You expanded it to writing. How difficult was that? The scientists will tell you that black boys don't want to read and they don't want to do math.
Well, that is true to a certain extent. However, Avian gravitated to math and the sciences, but reading he kind of struggled with a little bit second grade, but he excelled. Right, most definitely, he excelled after, especially that was the whole premise behind the book, of trying to make sense of what it is that he thought and the thoughts that he thought.
No kid is going to come out a perfect reader. No kid is going to come out perfect in any subject. But I do suspect that having you in the household, having you being an example of a reader and someone who gets involved in studies, I got to think that it helps.
Yes, yeah, it definitely helps. That is a family consists of a mother, a father, and the children. And, the contributions that the mother and the father make are equally important. We will both bring different elements to the table, but, even though they're different, they still play a role in the balance that a child gets growing up. Reading is extremely important because it develops the critical thinking capacity. It also expands the mind. And, once those two elements have been addressed, then the writing aspect is a natural result. So, again, the masculine element, or the father, is definitely important. He has to play an active role in the growth and development of his children. And as long as those things are addressed, and as long as that commitment is intact, then the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? The child can do anything that they put their mind to. And, that's the example that we as a family try to represent and personify.
Excellent. My two kids were 10 and 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. So they are in college now, but I remember there were points where they may not have been interested in reading. They didn't want to read the book at night. They didn't want to work through that problem. Mm-hmm. How important is it to make sure that we don't acknowledge their stumbling block, that we just help them, let them know that this is just a step higher they have to take, and it's not something where they have to stop?
Well, it's extremely important. And, whenever we try to, as parents, try to get our children to read, I'm pretty sure that we all run into the same obstacle, that the child, really doesn't see reading as an exciting exercise. So what we have to do is we have to change our approach in many cases. There's, many children are into video games nowadays, but a lot of video games require you to read in order to know how to play it.
Right.
So just because the words are not in written format or between pages, doesn't mean that the child is not exercising, that ability. You understand what I'm saying? You like I said, you read, words on the screen. You read words on, when you're on your social media.
When you're driving by.
Exactly.
The key is to keep them reading all of the time,
Precisely.
different environments,
Precisely.
make it fun. But whatever you do, make them read. I can tell you from firsthand experience that kind of interaction will help them as they get to their college years and help them to be healthy adults. I do want to take a second for you to speak to the importance of being involved in the school community with the kids and how you try to get other parents to stay involved. And I also want to encourage you and ask you if you have any plans to make sure people whose kids aren't in the school system would get involved with the PTA.
Oh yes, most definitely. It's extremely important for you to not only be involved, but to stay involved. If you have
What are
any
some of the things that you're
suggestions
doing in the PTA?
in the PTO at Haywood, we're doing a myriad of things. We have activities for the children, of course now not with COVID-19 going
Right.
on, but we had a myriad of activities going on for the children, such as parties and activities for them to engage with each other. We have move activities for the students. We have breakfast like that. We try to encourage community atmosphere with the children as well as the parents. Outreach. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, we myself as well as our PCO president and secretary and treasurer, we were always available for you.
Who's your president?
Our president is Ms. Rhonda, and she's wonderful.
And do you guys have a website or email
The
address?
website is coming.
Okay.
Everything is coming up. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
As well as the Facebook page.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
So you can always contact the school, Haywood Avenue School. They always will help you get in touch with whoever you want to get involved. If you don't have kids in the school system, we still encourage you to get involved. Contact Haywood School. Whatever talent you have, we want it at our school so our children can be exposed. I do want to close out with a word from Avion. He is the person of the hour. Avion, just give some advice and quick tips to some of your colleagues out there who aren't interested in reading, who may not like math. What would you say to them to get them encouraged?
Well, when I was younger, in third grade, I still didn't like reading, but then my teacher, she gave me a book about Fortnite, and that was when I actually started to like reading, and that's the beginning of when we started publishing our book. So if I had to give any advice, I would say start off with something you like and work your way up to the bigger stuff.
I am now dropping the mic. Thank you, City of Orange Township, here at the Little Library. This family is just an example of the many families we have throughout Orange that are making sure that our children, we read, they stay engaged, and that we as parents get involved. You don't have to be the mother or the father of that child. You're in the community. Get involved with the children in the community. Yes, I'm still here in front of the Little Library. Our neighbors are present. It is raining, but the Little Library is waterproof, so come rain, come shine, come and read all the time. Sir, what is your name and why are you out here?
My name's Ken Garton. I'm Summers' neighbor. I've been in the area for 40 years.
You have a little library across the street. When you come on, and I've seen you on your porch relaxing, you have a direct view of the little library. What does that mean to you?
That means it's wonderful that the children are reading, learning what's going on in the area, reading what's going on in the world, and we will be better off for that.
Now, you're a veteran.
Yes.
Tell me the importance of reading in terms of giving you a global perspective on the experiences that you experienced in Vietnam.
Well, if they don't read, they don't know history, and without that history, without the knowledge of what brought us to where we are today, then we're losing a very valuable asset. So they've got to read to see what's going on in the world.
That's right. You have to know your history in order to determine your future. You're a Vietnam vet, and I see you have some medals on your head. Tell me about your experience there.
Oh, I was with the 199th Infantry. I was there for 1 year, wounded. It was just a bad experience, and unless you've gone through a war of that type, you can't put in words what it's like. I mean, you didn't recognize that. I mean, you didn't understand why you were there at times, but we were there, and because we were there, we did the best we could.
Well, we thank you for your service, and thank you for being a longtime resident in Orange. You've seen the ups and the downs, and you've supported this community throughout. We thank you.
I've seen several mayors come and go.
Yes, you have.
Yeah,
yes, you have.
As Mayor Shane used to live right there.
He's right across the street from you.
Right across the street, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I want to put a plug in for you guys. I've been around for a long time. I've never seen this city the Department of Public Works working this city the way it's been worked. It's just, and the message that you've been sending out via the telephone, it's just unmatched.
Well, we're happy to do a service, but we get examples from people like you who have done the work, who have stayed here, and now we recognize that it's your turn to be able to sit back and be served. So we thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
Here at the little library on Sterling Avenue, right here in the South Ward, one of our older residents on this block. You've been here how long?
40 years.
40 years. Been here about as long as Jamie has been born as the councilwoman. We thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Okay. We are at this beautiful home, 181 Sterling Drive North in the good South Ward of Orange. Today, we are launching the first little library here in the city of Orange Township. I want to bring the homeowner in before we take a picture of it. Come on in, come on in, come on in. What's your name and why are we here today?
Hi, how are you? My name is Alexandra Estevez. I'm a resident of Orange. Been a resident for 14 years, and I just thought that this was a great opportunity to bring it to the town of Orange now that we see a lot of people walking. We see a lot of people that we don't know, and that we have come to be neighbors and we don't even know our names. So this is just a talking to say, hey, come on in, start reading, say hello to each other.
So we're in front of this box. It's called a little library. It's part of a nonprofit national organization. They're all over the country. They actually give you specifications on how to build it, suggested colors, the whole thing. All you have to do is install it. I want to call your husband in as well because I believe that some of his back wanting to making sure that this was anchored properly. Just tell me, as a family, what was the idea? I know you're a realtor in this area and you've been pushing hard to make sure that the Orange property values stay up, that people appreciate what's happening here, but you didn't let COVID stop you from making sure people come together and notice. We get one of these, you guys say that you're going to sponsor it. It took a financial cost as well to have this, to buy it, to install it. Tell me about the family commitment that you made.
I think what was important to us is during these times, not only are we socially distant, but it's important to get our children involved now that they're away from their schoolmates and from the engagement from class. So this is one way of doing it. This is one way to have the kids to come over, read, involve themselves, get them out of the technology that they've been in through the half of the school season, and just get them to talk about different subjects and stuff like that. So that's important to us. I know we're very committed in doing that.
Nice.
And this is
getting kids and families to come out to communicate, to read. One of the best investments we could ever make are books in our children's hands. Just tell me a little bit about how this got to be on your honey-do list, and what did it take to actually do the install?
Well, she decided she wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. This came in the mail, and she's like, you gotta do it.
That was it?
That's it.
So just shovel in hand, you dig a hole, you go 2 or 3 feet down.
Onto the post.
Cement in.
Yep.
Put the post, make sure it's level.
So I
Try to make it as nice as possible.
So I did wanted to give a shout to the person that did put the post. My husband did install the house, the library, and that's a landscaping company that we use. And they were very easy. It was very inexpensive, and they did it with cement, so it does need
And what's the name of the landscaping company?
Ojeda and Sons.
You'll see Ojeda and Sons. You'll see their telephone number underneath. I want to give them a shout out because it's important during coronavirus. Whatever you do, when it's time to lend an extra hand, that's what Ojeda did. They're already out here. They're already cutting grass. They already have the mulch. They lent an extra hand to make sure that we have the library. That's kind of what COVID has, the good part of COVID. It's made us think about how we can do extra when we're doing our jobs in the first place. So certainly, Ojeda, we want to thank you for all that you've done. This has special significance to you personally in getting this done. Just tell us about who it's dedicated to and what are some of the priorities around the attention you want to bring to some issues.
So it's dedicated to my sister, Rocio Gonzalez, who will have 1 year of death through domestic violence abuse. I have encountered a lot of people during COVID that have gone through domestic violence abuse, and we did help an individual through Facebook activity, a family in West Orange that we kind of put in. And it just made me think, how many people are out there that we don't know as a woman, what's going on in Turkey, and everywhere, in every town that it is so silenced, whether it's verbal or whether it's lifting a hand, whatever it may be, an adult, a child. So it does have a big significant part of it. Jamie Johnson was very much in place to help us to go through this process, because it was a conversation that took place during a meeting in regards to how to get the library started and what was our cost and what was our whys, what encouraged us to do it.
Right. Very good. Well, you speak about your councilwoman, Jamie Summers Johnson from the South Ward. I do want to bring her in because a lot of times you don't have the guidance, and when there's a push by an elected official to do something positive, certainly as residents we want to jump on board. Jamie, you've been talking with Councilwoman Adrienne Wooten about doing the little libraries throughout town, making sure that we got citizen involvement. You had a willing participant. What's some of the behind the scenes things we had to do to make sure we got in touch with the organization, we got the right box and so forth?
So first and foremost, we had to do the research to find out if we needed to do a resolution and or an ordinance in order to get it put into the ground. And through our research, we found that if it was on your private property, it could be done. The good part about this organization is you could either buy the little library through the organization or you can build your own. What they ask is that you pay the $39.99 charter fee so that you get the sign, you get a charter number, and you are put on the National Registry of Little Libraries. So we encourage more residents to build them. However, we really want to support this organization. It also allows you to get discounts on books. So at the top, you see she has her charter number up here so that you cannot just use the little library name. It's trademarked, okay? And these do not come cheap. So we are also looking for sponsorship. We're looking for our builders in the city of Orange that can really have them in, we want them in every park. We want them in front of every school. We want there to be no excuse that our children do not have books. Right now, with COVID, our libraries are closed, and our little libraries are free libraries. You're supposed to take a book, put one in, keep it as long as you need. You could even write a review if you want on the book, but we want to encourage reading. Like my neighbor said, to pull our kids away from technology a little bit. I don't know if people are aware that our students read all the time, but they read online. The books are online. Having your own book to actually read a little bit, put a bookmark in, read a little bit more is what we really need to get us ready for our standardized testing.
You've heard it right here. There's a practical use to the little libraries, and that is making our children to be good readers. That will carry you throughout the rest of your life, and it's certainly something that we want to encourage here in the city of Orange Township. This little library is on Sterling in the South Ward. I want to bring Councilwoman Adrienne Wooten to talk about what we're doing citywide. I know she's going to partner with me to do some around the train stations, around the parks, as Councilwoman Jamie Summers said, and other areas. So Councilwoman Wooten, come on in and tell us about what kind of citywide coordination we're going to be working together on in terms of getting these little libraries at places like the train stations and other places where a lot of people come to congregate or they have to go as part of their daily living.
So first, it's like Councilwoman Summers Johnson said, there was a lot of research that went into the little free libraries to make sure if we need an ordinance or a resolution, through our research and through talking to an attorney here, we thought it best that we left it up to the homeowner. So the things that are going to go on in town, like this starts in the South Ward, but it's going to be spread out throughout the town. As Councilwoman Summers said, make sure that you register so there can be a registry of it. She wants to put together like a list where people can walk and see the libraries. We're going to put one up in Metcalf Park. We're putting one up in each park. We're doing the train stations going east and west to make sure that Orange will become a reading city.
or looking to be designated, we want to be on the list. We will have our camera crew and bring all of our support out to see you and to see your little library. When you're ready to open it, you just call us and let us know. Of course, my number is on the screen, 862-373-0025. Give us a call. We'll be happy to engage with you. If you're looking for a landscaper and you try to figure out who you should choose, ask them whether or not they do any community service or volunteer service. That's a good way to get them on board as well. Certainly we have a good example of it here. We are going to take the opportunity to cut this ribbon to go in and pull our first book. As we cut the ribbon, we do want to have in our memory Rosia, who passed as a victim of domestic violence. We try to make sure that we do these things that are significant to our family members and to the entire community. So all of those who may be suffering from domestic violence or who have relatives, we're putting this number on the bottom of the screen where you can get assistance. Certainly we'll put our hotline and tip number for the police as well. Our aim is to try to bring healing, and here we're doing it through reading and a little library. Ready to cut the ribbon?
Amen.
Woo! This is it. Orange's first little library is open for business. First book. Let's see. You can do hardcover or soft cover. Actually, I'm going to get the animal book. The reason that I'm choosing this animal book is because the idea for it to be deposited in a little library came from their son.
Yes.
So anytime children are recommending reading, I want to be involved, because as they encourage us, we have to encourage them. They are our future. Thank you so much for all you do for the City of Orange.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you.
So now we have the first deposit into the little library here on Sterling. Young lady, what's your name? What do you do?
Principal Faith Alcantara, Haywood Avenue School, and Ethan is one of our best and brightest, going on to 4th grade. So it's a pleasure.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
So the principal has come out, the parents are here, the council people are here. Certainly I'm here. I am an avid reader, so I'll be at this house every now and then. When you see the mayor's car parked here, it's not because they're feeding him, it's because he's getting a book to read.
Yes. Little leaders. Golden woman.
This is what it's all about.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yay.
It's beautiful.
Here is the deposit. Very nice.
And I love how it matches the house too.
That's right.
Yes. Coordination.
So the next project here for this family is going to be art on the front, the back, and 2 side panels of the box to make sure that it's attractive. It draws people in, but we want everybody to start to read. Please contact the numbers on your screen to get in touch with the Little Library organization. We'll have this kind of party at your place as well. What you don't see is all the hors d'oeuvres and the wine that we have in the back of us. But when we come to your site, we'll have the big party. Come on out, Little Library. Join the family. Principal Faith Alcantara, thank you for all that you do. Haywood Avenue School serves this community, serves this block. This kid is at your school. Wherever you are, I'm sure we'll get your principal to come out as well. Faith does a special job of making sure the entire community is included. You teach my niece and nephew.
Yes, I listen.
Yeah. They've never been sent home with any kind of... I know their parents allow you to.
I only do what I should do.
Yes, got that. Thank you. We're at Sterling Little Libraries. This is a success story. We have them all throughout the city of Orange Township. I do want to get you for a few seconds. I get people all the time asking me, should they buy property in Orange? What's the answer?
Yes.
If you get it, you better keep it, because you're not going to be able to afford to buy it soon. This lady is not only a real estate salesperson, but is an advocate to make sure that you're getting the best values, make sure you're getting the right things, make sure that mortgage companies and insurance companies are making sure they're doing the right thing and not redlining or hurting any buyers in New Jersey in the first place. I want to thank you for what you
Thank
do.
you so much, Mayor.
That's what we need, corporate people who have a heart for civics and who have a heart for justice in our community. And certainly you've done that. I want to applaud her, tell her broker and all of the real estate people that she works with that they do have a gem. Thank you for that.
Thank you.